Okay, we are recording this session. I'm going to new. So before we start with our modeling, what we have to do is we have to focus on our folder structure and the way we work. That's very important. Every company, they will have their own SOP, standard operating procedure. If you are working in a group, then you should guide your group that this is our way and we are going to walk this way. That direction should be there. So if you are working alone also, then you have to define a method. You have to define a method and you should say that this is how I am going to model. Okay, so that's very important. Now, what am I going to tell you is, okay, so let us create folder structure. A simple folder structure I'm going to tell you. Yes. Yes. Yes, you can watch. At least you should know that this option is there. Yeah, that is my idea. Okay. So the way we work, you can work in your, in case if you are a single person, you can work with a single computer. In case if you are working in an office, you can work with the LAN server. There will be an common area or some storage location. You can store your data there and you can work as a company. In case if you are having your office in multiple location, then you can connect on internet. So that is what we are calling it as cloud. So that cloud space, who is giving? Google. Google Drive, Microsoft Drive. Okay, and Autodesk, they are giving their own products. Okay, Autodesk Cloud, Autodesk Construction Cloud, and other private cloud services also available. Okay, so we have to understand that there is some option. Okay, and in any cloud, they will give only space. The folders, and whatever the information you are going to keep it available for your team, that you have to decide. Okay, there are companies, they sell standards, they will guide you how to do. For example, these ISO, the code book, the organization quality standard company, they will guide you how to create the folder structure, what should be the roles and responsibility, they will guide you. So that kind of companies also there. Okay, so now let's go to desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. Okay, the primary structure. Okay, so for modeling, for BIM modeling, let's say, so in a company, okay, so there will be company name, right, in a common structure. Okay, so inside the company folder, we will create one folder for BIM team. Inside BIM, we are going to create a folder for project name. So in the project, we will have different folder. Okay, so if there is a project, what will happen? We will receive some tender. Okay, so let's say tender documents. That is our input. And there will be some working file. There some files we are going to share, some file we are going to obsolete, right? Right, meaning they are ignored. Okay, there can be other files also. So we need working space. So inside working, we are going to create folders for current working. So let's say, so if it is a work, in case I am considering only buildings. In buildings, there will be contracts team, there will be QS team, but we are taking this folder for BIM only. So in BIM team, there will be different department. We are CAD people, but we have a separate discipline. One guy will come from a civil background, one will come from architecture, one will come from mechanical, electrical. So we should have different discipline folder. Architecture, I'm taking it as first because that's our intent, right? MEP we can put, or we can also divide this into three: mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Every services we can create as separate. So in case, let us consider that I'm working on structure. Then for structure, we have to tell the project name. Okay, inside the project we have structure. In the structure, we have to tell the building phase 1, phase 2, or building 1, building 2. Okay, so building 1. So inside this we are going to put our Revit file. Okay, so these kind of some procedure we have to follow. This is just an example. Okay, so what am I going to do is I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to save the file first. Always save the file. So I'm not going to save it in the cloud. I'm going to save it in the local. Okay, let's go to desktop, company, BIM, the project, then working, structural, building 1, and I'm going to say building 01, structural. So we can also follow some other nomenclature. That's okay. So that's called nomenclature. Okay. Okay. So nomenclature you can follow. You can have your uh, file name. Okay. So now the file got saved. Today we are going to follow a simple house building. Okay. Every house will start from a ground, right? Let's go to massing and site. And this is where we are going to show our site condition. Okay, so in the site condition, what we are going to do is we have to develop the road and a ground. Okay, I am using Revit 2024. In the earlier version we have a different option. Okay, so here we have topo solid. In the earlier version we have topo surface. There is some difference. All other tools are same. Okay, so if I go to create with a sketch. Okay, so this is actually the topo surface, right? Let me create that surface first. And then finish. Let's go to view, go to 3D view, and this looks like a floor, but this is the topo solid, the ground. Okay. If I go to massing and site, so this is the topo solid option. I can also import one survey file, create with create from sketch option. Okay. The second one is site component. Site component, what and all will be there? Site component actually a library element. You can load and then you can select from the list and you can place wherever you need. For example, tree. So this can be a electric pole. This can be a pump, manual pump, or any borehole, anything. You can just load it from your library and you can place. Okay, so if you go to 3D view, so this is how it looks. Okay, these are RCP element. If I go to realistic mode, and you can see this is how it looks. Okay, basically they are used to locate the tree. Okay, so actually the rendering is not our focus. Our focus is to record building information. Yes, let's go to site, massing and site, and we have some parking component. In parking component, what we have a category called parking, and this is my family. This is a library element. If I go to 3D, I can see them in the 3D also. I can see them in the 2D plan also. Okay. The next one, what we have is property line. This is our property line. Okay, let's say I'm going to mention the ground around 500 meters or 300 meters. I can have the ground data. And then I have to mention where the road is, right? Let's go to, if I select this element, I have some modify option. I can modify this surface by adding a point. I can mention the height, add point height, let's say 100 mm, and I can give the ground level. So in case if you are loading from AutoCAD, then this point height will come from AutoCAD. Yes. Okay. Yes, we can get. Okay. So now you can see I have just taken add point. Then I have added all this point. So once you finish adding the point, you can give escape. You can go to view, 3D view, and you can see the level difference. Okay, so for now I don't see them much, right? So there are level differences, but that's not that visible. Contour lines are not visible, right? To view contour lines, you have to go to the same, go here, go for property line data. Okay, so let's go to visibility graphics, go for site. So everything is enabled. One second, we have to select topography. Topography, triangle edges. Okay. So I have already created one detailed video. Okay, how to enable these uh, points. Okay, so something we have to set the structure. Okay, contour display. If you go to contour display, so this will, you can define, so from what interval you want to see the contour. For example, let's say every 100 mm I want to see the contour interval. Okay, then these are called primary contour. Or let's say every 500 I want to see the primary contour, and every 100 I want to see the secondary contour. Okay, start from below 3 meter and finish it at above height 30 meter. So our level is coming in between a 0, right? Then it is okay. I'm going to say okay, okay. Now I can see the contour lines. Okay. You have to select the topography, go to edit type. Here go to contour display, go to edit, and here you have to set the settings. Just to do trial and error, you will understand. Okay. Say okay, okay, done. I have also created videos on my channel. You can search for topography. Okay, so now we have our surface, right? Let's say I want to put the road. Then you can go for subdivide option, select, and you have to draw the road and finish. You can see here, this is comes like a thickness. No, if it's a road, it will have some thickness, right? We cannot have that road profile and all, but we can have kind of the boundary line we can have. Okay, if I go to site and I can mention this is the road edge. I can draw the zigzag line also. I can draw arc line. I can use all these tools to make my road boundary. So I have to know that this is my road edge. So for that we are using. Okay. Now from my road, where is my property? So I should know my property line. So we have the tool property line. Okay. You have to draw the property line. You can draw by sketch or you can also enter values. Okay. So once you finish the sketch, you can just close. You can also place annotations, northing, easting, coordinates you can place, like bearing you can place. Okay, property line. We have two options: create by sketch, create by entering distances and bearing. Now let's go for sketch. That's always easy. And I'm going to say from my road, 1 meter. From the road boundary, in case let's say 5 meter. Okay, and this is my edge. And then I'm going to have, so I have offset, let's make it 0. This is like this way. Okay, somehow it's like this, and this is my boundary line. Once I finish boundary line, I can see the dash line, and I can also edit the table. You can see distance, northing, easting, bearing, line type I can mention. Okay, so this is our boundary line. We have to pin it. We don't want to miss the boundary. Okay, so we have to keep it pinned. Now I can go to annotate and I can tag the element. So this is showing there is no tag loaded. Say yes and go to US annotation and go for civil. Here go for property line tag. Okay, so we have to choose 3, just load them. I think now it is loaded. Select and then change its type. Distance and bearing. Create similar and place. So when you are doing a survey drawing or site map, then you have to mention the property line. So to find the correct coordinate, actually this is not a GPS. Okay, so point to point we are mentioning the bearing. Okay, this can be with the error of 3 second or 2 second, even a total station comes with a 3-second error. Okay, so finally we have to get the average only. Okay, so how do we do it? The surveyor will do, and he will give. Okay, surveyor will give, he will give the distance and bearing. So initially how to take the coordinate, so that was a question for me also. So in case if you take Andhra, every state has its own geotechnical team, and they are creating benchmarking point. Okay, primary control point, secondary control point they are establishing. So from there we can take the coordinate and we can give reference to our project. Okay, so there will be some error, but that is acceptable. Yes, yes, they will give. Correct. Usually for now they are doing it with Civil 3D, AutoCAD. You can also do the same with Revit. Once you are drawing it with AutoCAD, you can import and you can pick the lines. Okay. So now we have our boundary. If you go to massing and site, see this next one is label contours. Okay. So when I am labeling contour, I can mention its height. For example, I'm taking this tool and you can see I have to just draw from one point to another point, and you will see the label based on the scale. The label text size will be bigger or smaller. Okay, so for now we are having only one number, right? In case if you want multiple numbers, you can also modify the contour styling. Okay, let's go for contour display. In case if I have the contour interval every 50, then I'll get more lines. Okay. Okay, so this is how we have to do contour labeling. Just take and draw one line. So wherever it is crossing, that's going to put a value. And how to edit the text size, dimension size, that you can go to edit type and you can check these values. Now the next thing is graded region. So with the graded region, we are going to calculate how much it is going to be excavated or how much it's going to be filled up. Let's go to graded region. So there are two options. One is create a new topography based on the primary point, or you can also put each point based on the CAD file you can do. Okay, so create a new topography exactly like the existing one, then you can modify. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the second option and I'm going to select. Okay, so this is asking for saving the project. Okay, let's save. Now what do I have? I have two topography in the same place. Okay, the blue color one, if I select, you can see here. There are two. Okay, topo solid 1, toposolid 1. Both are looking toposolid 1 only. Okay, so this is gray, another one is blue. Okay, so select any one and keep the face as existing. Okay, and then select the second one. Okay, and say it is new construction. Face demolished. Oops, sorry, none. It is new construction. Okay, so I have two. When I select, I have to check whether it's new construction or not. Okay, let's go to modify. So this is actually in the new construction. Hide. This is existing. Actually, this is supposed to be new construction. Right. No. Isolate element. That's the best way to find. Okay, edit sketch. Modify sub element. Okay, so this is actually a new construction. Let me just give some -2 meter value. Later on we can bring it back. Okay, so this is going to be the new construction. This is actually existing. Okay, so now let's say this is at 0. Okay, we have to keep it in the same level. Okay, and here when I select, this is showing existing. Okay, this is our new construction, and when I select a new construction, you can see cut and fill. Area, volume, we are getting thickness, everything we are having. Okay, let's go to top. Let's go to modify point. Let's say I'm going to elevate my site. Then I have to add point. Let's add point from current level 3 meters. Let's say this is my site. I'm going to elevate. Okay, so, and double escape. Now you can see I have a toposolid, new construction, and existing one. Okay, now if I select new construction, it will show cut and fill. Okay, so this is actually calculating from the existing one and a new one. The only with the difference it is showing. Okay, so we have a small calculation method, that's it. So you cannot calculate like a civil 3D. Okay, so I can only mention what is existing and what I'm going to build as new. Okay, my site got elevated. We can also see this in 3D. This is 3D, but this much only you will get. What graphics you get is this much only. This is our, we can also take a section across a line and we can see. Okay, so now what should I do? I have to enable show new only. I will see only one topography. I will see only one topography. So from here I can mention the excavation, then I can put my foundation. Let me show you how to do the excavation things. Okay, let's go to architecture, go for component, and go for place a component. Oh, sorry, component and model in place. Okay, and then take, you can take anything actually. Let's go for generic model. Okay, excavation. And I'm going to say, so this is a void. Okay, and so this is in kind of blend shape. Okay, for example, this is my internal depth, and this is my outer boundary in the top. And once I finish, I should be able to see them. Okay, so this is the void. Now how much deep am I going to put it? Approximately I can mention. You can also mention with the first end and second end option. Okay, and I'm going to excavate till here. Okay, so once I finish, so this is not cutting anything. Let's cut the solid. Once I finish, you can see here my excavated site. So this is how you have to model excavation. Okay, select and make it as existing, and it is demolished in the new construction. So when I change the face settings to existing, show previous face, so this is the flat surface, and during the construction or after construction, so it is going to be like this, right? So this is how you have to mention the face. Okay, now, so I was just showing it for a example. Okay, so now you know, so what and all you know now in massing and site. Now you know how to model topography, how to add site component, how to add parking, how to add property line, how to label a contour, how to show contour, and how to use graded region, and how to excavate, how to show excavation. Okay, so remember the concept and logic. Okay, so watch this video again and remember the concept and logic. Okay, so let's go to the next step. Yeah, tell me. You can share. Yeah. Okay, we'll continue. Here I'm creating a scenario. We are filling our site, but we can fill within our property only. Outside the property, we cannot fill. Right, so I'm filling 3 meters inside the property. And outside the property, it's going to be 0, or it will follow the original. Right, when I am adding the points, we have to be very clear. Okay. All right. So this is our project site. Now what to do? We have to go from the foundation, right? Or let us focus on architecture for as a beginner. Then we'll go for the structure. Okay. You have to learn both. Okay. In case if it's a wall and there is a door, then you have to put the wall opening. So that wall opening you can place by door family. You can place a door opening by door family. That is why it's important to learn architecture tools. Learn architecture tool also. Learn how they behave in Revit. Okay, let's go to site. So for architecture, what do we need? Focus on the concept. Okay, I need a compound wall. Let's go to architecture. You can see here you need to learn what are the types of walls available in Revit. We have a basic wall, we have curtain wall, that means the glass wall, and we have staked wall. Yes, I have created a video to explain what is a basic wall, what is a curtain wall, what is staked wall. Watch that video. Okay, as short I can tell you that basic walls are simple wall, and they can have multiple vertical layer. Curtain walls are glass wall. Staked walls are um, different type of basic wall that is stacked one above another. Combined wall, yes. For example, the first 1 feet that is built by stone. Next 3 feet built by bricks. The next 1 meter we have the fence. Yeah, that kind of wall. Okay. Now for now, I'm going to take only the basic wall and mention my site boundary. Okay, so this is my site boundary. Let's go to Revit and you can see this is my site boundary. Okay. Wall height also can be edited. Right. Now, so we have an excavated area. So I can have a basement. Right. I can have a basement. So first of all, you need to know how to model wall. That's what important. I am taking the wall. It can be architecture or structure. Okay, I'm going to show you how it works. This wall by face later on. Now let's focus on architecture. The concept is very simple. I am taking an architecture wall. Okay, and I'm selecting the wall, and you can see here this is showing instance properties, and here you can see structure, and it is unchecked, but I can check them anytime. Okay, now this wall became structural wall. Okay, I am going to take structural wall. I'm going to draw the wall, but that's not visible. Let's create it by height method. Connect up to level 1. I'm going to draw the wall. Now it is visible. Place, select, and you can see it can be any wall type, and you can see by default structure is enabled. That's the only difference. Before depth was enabled, so by default the wall is going below. That is why it's not visible. If you check our view range, you can see this is going till 0 only. If the wall is going down below 0, and it will not be visible. View range. There is a building. We have to cut the building to see the top line. And we have a range of depth. Okay. Okay. So concept is very important. Okay. So now we are learning basic wall. Let's go to edit type. I'm going to create a new wall type. Let's go to duplicate. I'm going to write it as new wall type. Say okay. So I have all the option I can edit. So first of all, you need to know every properties, but primarily you should know the structure. I can also show the preview. So this is the wall. Vertically, this is the wall. We have multiple layer. Okay, you can enable preview. You can disable the preview. You can see here, if I select the layers here, you can see the preview. Okay. I can mention what should be the thickness. I can mention the material. I can mention the what function it is. Okay. I can mention their function. Is it a finish layer? Is it a core structure layer? Is it a air gap? Like that you can mention. So we have these types: structure, substructure, air layer, finish 1, finish 2, membrane layer, the waterproofing layer. Like that you can mention. Okay. We should have one layer for core, and it should have thickness. We cannot give 0 thickness. Okay, and you have to mention whether it is structural material or non-structural material. You have to mention whether the thickness is varying or non-varying. Okay, so that's all. And we have other functions also. I have created a video for wall. You can find that. The basic thing is you have to understand the concept here. Okay, so this box is for the layer setup. Okay, so when we are coming to the bottom, wrapping option. What is wrapping? That you have to understand. Okay, so let me show you an example, small example. So before we go for example, let me show you. I'm going to create a wall 200 mm, and I'm going to mention the plaster thickness of 15 mm, 15 mm. Okay, so I am selecting this layer and I don't want that layer. I can delete the layer. Okay, so now I have one structure and I'm going to mention the material. You can see here I'm clicking the rectangular box in the right side. Okay, you have to click here and search brick common. Okay, so material also have different properties. Okay, so you can also set the graphics. Okay, we'll see that in detail later on. A video also available in the channel. Okay, you can check. So now I'm going to select any one material and I'm going to say okay. Okay, so you can see the preview here, and in the top I'm going to mention this as finish 1, and the bottom layer also I'm going to say as finish 1, and I'm going to check the thicknesses 15 mm and 15 mm, and structure is 200 mm. Okay, now see here, I have material. I don't have any plaster material. I don't have any plaster material. Oh, plaster material is available. If you don't have any plaster material, you can just say by category. That means no material assigned. By category, it will show the graphics. As we have plaster material, let me select plaster. Okay, and say okay. You can also copy the name and you can paste. Okay, plaster. And I have to show you what is wrapping option, right? For now, at intersect, I'm going to say do not wrap. At the end, I'm going to say none. Okay, okay. Now you can see here we are having the core layer and side by side we are having the plaster. Okay, but I don't see any graphics. If I go to level 1, I am in level 1. The wall goes from 0 to 8 meter. Okay, but it's not showing the dash line. Why it is not showing the dash line? There can be multiple reason. The main reason is scale. Okay, let's go to visibility graphics. This is wall. You need to know what is visibility graphics. Okay, I'm just typing BV. Let me just check a few parameters. Okay, select. Okay, you can see some hatches there, but it's not visible. Okay, I want to see why it is not visible. Okay, so let's hide those elements. Let me go to site. Okay, so this is coming here. Let me take a go to view. Let's take a section, go to view, and you can see this is coming from level 0 to 1, and this is my hatch. I am cutting the wall in 1500 meters, but I don't see the hatch. Why don't I see the hatch? If I select, if I go to edit type, if I go to structure, common, you can see I have a surface pattern. I have a cut pattern also. In cut pattern, the background is black. Let us change it to white. And brick pattern, let us change the color. Okay, so foreground color, let us change it to black. And background, no pattern, none. Okay, everything is correct. This is for cut pattern. Let us change the color to something else. Okay, color can be a reason. But this is not visible. Okay, so there can be multiple reason. I will tell you why it is not visible. Okay, this is a problem. I can see the pattern, but it's not visible. Let me take a section, rotate the section 90 degree, and now it is horizontally, it's there. Right click, go to view, and in the section I don't see the pattern. Let's go to edit type, surface, cut pattern, background. We choose any concrete fill. In foreground there is some. Okay, let us see if it is working now. It's not working. Okay, I will show you later. By default we will not have any problem. Okay, now I have 3 layer. If I go to architecture and if I take a door and I'm placing the door, my god, see, now it is visible. Oh, this is a structural wall, huh? Okay, uncheck. Now this is an architecture wall and this is my door placed at level 0. A serious graphics issue. Okay, if I change this to coordination, oh, okay, so now see here, you can see here, this is a door. There is a problem. Okay, okay, let us see. This is my door, but you can see here the plaster layer not wrapped. Okay, you can see here the plaster layer comes and stops here. Yes, and in the end also not there. If I select, if I go to edit type, if I edit structure, and if I say interior side, and if I say okay, you can see end is closed, and here you can see only interior side is closed, exterior side is open. Select, go to edit type and change this wrapping to both side. Say okay. Now you can see both side it's wrapped. So that is what the wrapping option. Okay, and in the bottom we have modify vertical structure option. So that's a advanced topic. First focus on the basics first. Okay, so now I know how to create a wall, how to duplicate a wall, how to edit the structure basic level, and I also should know how to edit in case if the height is varying for the wall. Let's go to section view, and this is my wall. Okay, so I was not able to see the hatch pattern because of my topography. Okay, for example, if I hide my topography, I can able to see the hatch. Okay, so because of topography I was not able to see my pattern. So now I know what to do. The color is black. Okay, I just have to hide topography. You can see here I'm typing VR. You can see this is the situation. If I go to visibility graphics, go for topography, let's go to site, say okay. This is my topo solid. Right click, hide in view category. Now I can see my pattern. Okay, now I am in the section. Okay, I'm going to hide the topo solid, hide in view category. So this is my wall. This is my wall in elevation. In case this is my wall in elevation. Okay, this is my wall in elevation. My wall is not a rectangle, not a regular shape. Okay, now how to modify the outer boundary? I can go to edit profile and I can draw the boundary. I can trim the boundary and I can say finish. You can see here the wall is modified. You can modify your wall in any shape vertically. We have to go to edit profile and you can draw internal rectangle, internal lines you can draw that will become the opening. Okay, you can also reset the profile in one click. You can go to edit profile, you can draw internal opening and you can finish. This is a opening. You can see here. So this is a wall and you can see this is the opening. Edit profile, I'm drawing a circle. You can see here this is the opening. Select edit profile, you can modify the profile, remove constraint, finish. Okay, select, go to edit profile and make the changes. The next option is wall opening. The wall opening, you can create only rectangular opening only. You can see here I'm drawing a opening. So that's all you can do with the wall opening, but you can select, you can edit profile and you can create custom wall opening. Yes. Okay, this is about wall. Let's go to level 0. You know how to place the door. If you go to edit type, if you want to create a new type, you can go to duplicate. You can give a new name. You can give any name and you can modify the parameters and your door will be modified. Correct? Yes, it's easy. Creating a new type of door, creating a new type of window is easy. Select, go to edit type, duplicate, give a new name, OK, and modify the parameter. Okay, you can modify the parameter. Easy. Try to create a small house, draw all the wall, draw door, and place window and show me once. Okay, I have created some sample model in my channel. You can go through. There will be like exercise file 1, 2, 3 and you can also try. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create the floor. Floor is easy. You can go to floor and same like a wall, we have architecture wall, structure wall, and we have floor by face, we have slab edge. Okay, we'll see one by one. Select. Yes, you have to select the floor and then you just have to draw the boundary. Okay, so we have to draw the boundary, but we have another two option. You can see one for the floor slope and one for span direction. Span direction required for structure. We will mention the direction of reinforcement, one-way slab, two-way slab we will mention. Okay, even though it is architecture, you have to mention span direction. Just click and place in any of the outer wall. Revit will not say no, you what you did is wrong, right? It won't show. Okay, and we are having option to mention the slope. Okay, if you don't mention the slope, what will happen? It will be a flat slab. That's all. Okay, it will be a flat slab. In case if I go to edit, boundary, and if I add the slope from here to here, okay, so when I select the arrow, I have an option to mention the slope. Let's say it is 1 meter higher in the other end. And if I finish, if I go to view, 3D view, and you can see this is the floor, and you can see here this is the floor. One side is 0, other side is 1 meter. Okay, you can see the top is matching with the level, other side it is 1 meter. If you want to check the level, go to annotate, you have to lock the 3D, and then you can mention spot elevation 1000 mm. Okay, so this is how we will mention the level. Okay, let's go one by one. We are focusing on basic modeling now. Okay, now let's go to ceiling and sketch. Even the ceiling has the same function. We have to draw the boundary and we have to mention the slope in case if it is there. Select the arrow mark and mention the slope. Yeah, you can mention any slope in any direction. Edit boundary and you will see the options. But you can see when I select both the floor with the arrow, I'm getting the same option. If there is any warning you can show, but you can see here topo solid and floor is overlapping. So that I know already. Select. If I go to edit boundary and if I finish, you can see here. If I select floor, I am getting option to modify subelement. If I select the ceiling, I don't get those options. So that's the only difference. Select. These options were available in the topo solid also. So these point element, split line element will work the same way for topo solid and for floor. You just have to modify the sub element and add points. Okay, so that's all. Very easy. And double escape to finish. This is your floor. You can mention the slope or gradient with the modify sub element option. That's all. Okay, now let us focus on a roof. Roof, we have different type of roof. The common one is flat roof. Every concrete building will have flat roof. And if you take a US house or old buildings, so that will have pitched roof. Okay, so Revit have wonderful tool for pitched roof. If you go to roof, if I take roof by footprint, that means by sketch method. You have to select any level. You can see here the same options. We have to draw the boundary and we have to take the slope arrow. But you can see you can also mention the slope by outer boundary option. If I select the boundary, you can see this is 30 meter slope. This is 30 meter slope. That means what? All the four side I have 30 meter slope. That means I have a pitched roof. Okay. So we have different type of slope to roof. Okay. So and in architecture term, that has a different name also. Okay. So now here we are studying only the tool. Okay. If I go to edit footprint, let's say for example these two sides don't have slope, and if you finish, you can see here I'm going to the edit footprint option, select the element, go to edit footprint, and then select the line and define slope. Finish. You can also bring it up or down. Okay, we have other methods also. We will see one by one. Okay, if there is any slope, if you are not mentioning any slope, what will happen? This will be flat. That's all. Easy. The concept is very simple. Okay, you are mentioning the slope. If I go to edit type, I can mention the layers of roof. The roof will contain finish in the top, and there will be thermal gap, and there will be membrane for waterproofing. In the bottom there will be a structure. Okay, in case if it's a steel roof, then this will have these arrangements. Okay, so it's based on what type of roof you are going to build, right? Generic roof, if you go to edit type, structure, you'll have only one thickness. If I take pitched roof, if I go to edit type, I have different layer. You can also create your own roof. Okay, I hope you understand. There are some advanced topics. We need some advanced understanding, but when you are beginning, you try with one option. Okay, every step we are learn from the basic, and when you start modeling, you will have thousands of questions. Okay, so then you can ask me. Once you are getting a question, you write that question, okay, and keep it for asking, and then go to the next one and draw, and you will find the next question. Okay, right. Okay, so that per time you can ask multiple questions. For example, one day you can ask 10 type of questions, and I can answer. That's the best way to learn quickly. Okay, and there is a different method. Okay, so I will tell you what else you can do with the roof. And we have curtain system. This curtain system works with the massing. Okay, we'll see them later. The next one is staircase, the railing, ramp, staircase. So that also railing, ramp, staircase we'll see tomorrow. After that, everything else is only opening and room. These are for annotation only. Okay, except ramp and staircase and railing, you have learned almost everything. Okay, so quickly I'm going to show you the concept of curtain wall. Okay, curtain wall is a basic type of wall. I'm drawing a wall. I have also created a video on this curtain wall. Every topic I have already created video. Okay, you just have to go to my page, search the keyword and watch the video. That's it. If you're having any doubt, we'll discuss them in the class. Okay, for a quick understanding, I'm going to tell you that, let's say this is the curtain wall. For that, what should I do? I have to select and change the wall type to the curtain wall. I can show you a type. Okay, so here you can see this is a storefront. This is a storefront, and you can see here this is a glass, but I don't see any structural frame. Yeah, there is no frame. Okay, only the glass is divided. Okay, so if you want to add frame, you have to go to Mullion and then select all the grid. You can also add grid by grid. You can also add by segment. I don't have any time, so I'm selecting all the grid line and selecting the wall, and you can see we got the frame. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more. Let's draw the wall. I'm selecting the wall and change the type to curtain wall. Now this is a simple single wall, there is no division. So in case if you want to divide manually, you can also go for the type property. You can go to the type, and you can mention what should be the vertical uh, division method, what should be the horizontal division method. You have a different method: fixed number, maximum spacing, minimum spacing. Okay, you have different method. Okay, in case if you are doing it manually, then you have to go for cut and grid. First you have to put the grid first in the wall. Now this is a simple glass, single glass. I have to cut the glass first. Okay, go for cut and grid, and then split the glass. You can see here, just to split the glass. You can also add a single segment. Okay, you can also go for different option: all segment, one segment, all except picked. Now the glass is splitted. Now I have to add the frame. Go for mullion. We can have the mullion type here. If you go to edit type, I can select a different profile. Okay, so we'll see them in the advanced class. I will show you how to set the mullion type later on. I'm just going to select it from the list, and then just pick the uh, wall. You can also pick one by one. You can also pick segment by segment, or you can go for all lines. Done. Now I want to move this vertical line somehow right side, left side. Now what should I do? I have to select the grid and I have to move. I can also enter the value. Okay, easy. Okay, so this is just an understanding. Okay, so now you try some small building. I have created lots of sample example model. Okay, so go through my YouTube channel. You can also watch other YouTube channel and just search and learn from videos. Okay, so if you're having any doubt, we can discuss in the class. Okay, make utilize of this class. Okay, ask your doubt. Okay, so next class, what I can expect? Can you model any one project? Tomorrow, yes, we can have a class. Saturday. Okay, but I will surely let you know before in case if it is not available. Yes, that's better. Okay, in case if you're having a doubt, WhatsApp me. Okay, yeah, okay, 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 so that's all for the day. Let's close this. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Bye.